NBA draft player comparisons. This is the second one we're recording. It's Matas Buzelis, second ranked player on our big board. You and I are both very, very high on Buzelis, and you just discovered that he's 6'10". I'm wondering what that's going to do to your player comp. We have a best case player comp and a worst case player comp. We're both going to give our answer, explain it, and try to convince the other person why our comp is better than their comp. At the end of the video, we will determine whose comps we think are actually more accurate. Let's jump right in. Give us your best case comparison for Matas Buzelis.
So this was one of the easier comps I think I worked on in this exercise, and our conversation before recording this, actually aided me in that. Gregory, what did you call him? You said he'd be a great playmaking Robin to someone's Batman.
He would be a fantastic championship level Robin to a Batman.
Got it. Is there like some wing type player that's currently playing down in Orlando that's kind of like a Robin type to Paulo Banchero's Batman?
You stole my comp. That's what you did here.
He's Franz Wagner.
You stole my comp. That's what you did
I
here.
didn't look at yours on this one. I promise you.
No, I told you this one weeks ago in person, and you stole my comp. That's
Oh,
what
you know
you
I
did
don't listen to you, or I do it. I do it. Pick and choose. I can't take in everything, but yeah, he reminds me of Franz, and credit to you if you did tell me that a couple weeks ago, because that's 100% correct. I think that he has the size. He has. I believe in him to be a shooter, at least at the level of Franz is. And Franz has a lot more playmaking ability than he gets credit for. And like having the ball in his hands when Paulo doesn't. And I think Matas can have that same type of impact. And I think they're both honestly better athletes than they get credit for. Matas is probably a better athlete than Franz is. So that makes me even more excited. So I think Franz Wagner is the honestly one of the obvious comps for best case scenario for him.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. Yeah, I love this one. This is actually who I have listed in our little spreadsheet working on this right now. I was trying really hard to come up with a different name because as good as Franz is, oddly enough, I feel like Matas's ceiling might be Franz, but better. And maybe Franz isn't at his ceiling yet. Like what? Franz just finished year 3 in the league, I believe, and averaged 25 and 4 assists. Pretty efficient. Like he really is as a 6'10", 220-pound wing. Like that is Matas to a T. But I don't know that I think Franz is ever going to get to the point where he is like a 23 a game guy. I think this might already be what he is. And yes,
Oh,
Franz can get better, but I just don't know that Orlando even wants him to be featured in that way. Honestly, as we're talking through this makes no sense, but who's the premier NBA team right now that has 2 Batmans? They got a Batman and a second Batman. They're in the finals.
Are you about to call him Kyrie Irving?
No, they're in the finals, but they're not Dallas.
Jaylen Brown.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are both, in theory, Batman, and everyone would say Tatum's better, except for the people that just voted for Eastern Conference Finals MVP. But the point is, I think if we could say stylistically he's Franz Wagner, but maybe actual production and impact-wise he's Jaylen Brown, that's what I think Matas Buzelis could be. Like he gets to the point, there's never going to be a point where Franz is like on par with Paulo. There might be a point where Matas becomes that for me.
Okay, I'm with you there, but the only pushback I have is that Franz is going to be a 23 point per game score. Like he's
Okay.
going to get there.
Okay.
That's this isn't the finished product for Franz for me.
Okay. Then we don't even have to debate it later. The best case comp is Franz Wagner. I really like that. The worst case comparison for Matas Buzelis. Now I'm really excited. Are we going to go 2 for 2 on the same name?
I said off-brand Nick Batum. I just think he's a guy who finds himself in the league. He will be able to always kind of maintain a spot in the league because like he's just a playmaking wing with size, and competes on the defensive end and does a little bit of like third, fourth playmaking, I guess, ability. So I'm thinking like, yeah, that was the one that came to mind. There's probably a better one, but off-brand Nick Batum was the first one that came to mind.
Okay. I don't hate this. I think Batum Batum was too good of a passer for too many years for me to actually accept this as the worst case comp
But
because
off-brand.
yeah, but like Batum had I think like a 6-year run where he averaged 5 assists in the league. Like I don't think that is Buzelis' game, one, and two, if Buzelis is the worst case version of himself, he's definitely not going to be like a 5 assist game guy, maybe ever, let alone for a half a decade. Um, so I had two players come to mind, and one of them was way too good to actually be the worst case comp. But I'm just gonna say it just to like get this into the universe for people to realize how high I am on Matas. Uh, AK-47's numbers were not that good. Have you
The
ever
worst
looked at
case is Andre Kirilenko?
Have you ever looked at Andre Kirilenko's numbers? Because they weren't that good.
No, I have not.
Andre Kirilenko's career averages ended up being 11, 5, and 2, and
Great
31%
nickname,
from
though.
three. Great nickname. But okay, I get that one's ridiculous, and Andre was an all-star, so like that can't be the worst case comp. But I do think there's some similarities there. My worst case comp is a player who averaged very similar numbers to Andre Kirilenko. I think my worst case for Buzelis is Tony Kukoc.
Wouldn't Tony Kukoc be too good?
He was all right. He was all right.
I mean, I guess that's how high you were on, or how high you are on Buzelis, but like,
Tony Kukoc made all rookie team, and then he won sixth man of the year one year. He was never anything better than that. He's in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, I think you're sleeping on Kukoc, man.
Why is Tony Kukoc in the Hall of Fame?
Wait, he's in the NBA? I don't know. Are you sure he's in the Hall of Fame?
Basketball Reference says Tony Kukoc is in the Hall of Fame.
Like the NBA Hall of Fame?
I mean, Kukoc averaged 11, 4, and 3. I think that's pretty reasonable for a worst case
Wait,
scenario.
oh my God, Tony Kukoc is in the Hall of Fame.
I just said Matas Buzelis' worst case scenario is Hall of Fame.
You got another one?
No, I guess it's Batum. I guess Batum wins.
I think we got to go off brand Batum, and we both agree on Franz here.
Yeah. Franz is the comp. Good job. You win. I don't like that you just dominated me in a head-to-head player comparison battle, but if you enjoyed this video,
I thought you were going to go with the easy one. Last thing here. I thought you were going to say Josh Giddey.
no. Again, why do you think Montes is like a point guard?
I think but he can be a point forward type.
You keep comparing it to point guards.
How many point guards did I compare him to?
I mean, Batum is not a point guard, but like Josh Giddey's a point guard.
Josh Giddey's not a point guard.
All right. If you enjoyed this video, we have 74 more of these coming up leading up to the NBA draft for all of our top 75 players. Thank you for watching. Click subscribe. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.